Hey everybody, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today we're going to look at 10 key comics I think you should invest in. I've done the research, I've looked them up. I'll tell you the selling price on eBay for Raw and CGC, and I'll tell you the prices on Overstreet Price Guide, the one that just came out a couple weeks ago, and we can compare the difference. This time we're going to focus on Amazing Spider-Man. I got 10 great books. Let's face it, Amazing Spider-Man, almost every other book is a key, so it's very easy to choose from. But let's go ahead and not waste any more time, and we'll see what we got. So the first book we're going to go to today is Amazing Spider-Man number 22. It's the first appearance of Princess Python. It came out in 1965. It is a Stan Lee, Steve Ditko book. This one selling for CGC right now is 7.0 is $230. Another CGC 9.2, which is the highest one I can find, is selling for $900. Raw copies of this selling for around $200 near mint. Now, when I looked in the Overstreet price guide for this, the Overstreet is very high on this book, extremely high. A very fine for Overstreet on this book is $289. Near mints for Overstreet, which is considered 9.2 or higher ungraded, are selling for over $1,000. So it's an expensive book. This one's going to be hard to get in the near mint. Like I said, the highest one I can find was the 9.2. It's an older book. Like I said, it came out in 1965, so it's over 50 years old. But it's a great book. Princess Python is kind of a cool character. So if you can find this one, I think it's only going to open value. Like I said, we're just sticking with Amazing Spider-Man today. The next one we have is number 36. This is the first appearance of Looter. This is also a Ditko Stan Lee book. This one came out in 1966. Raw copies of this, very fine near mint, selling for $123.50. These are all sold prices on eBay. They're not listed prices. I only quote sold prices. CGC 9.0 is the highest I could find, $394, and an 8.5, $215. Overstreet has this listed at a very fine at $161, and a near mint at $550. So it looks like the selling price has not caught up to the Overstreet on this, but that's only a matter of time, let's be honest. Okay, this next one is really cool, and this one I think is very undervalued. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 78. This is the first appearance of the Prowler. Came out in 1969. This one is a Romita Stan Lee book. Raw copies of this, very fine near mint. They're only selling for about $82. A CGC 9.4 sold for $524, and a CGC 7.5, $115. Overstreet has a very fine listing of $69, and a near mint at $225. I love the Prowler character. This book is definitely one I would recommend buying if you can find this one. I think it's only a matter of time before you see this character involved in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or television series. So definitely be on the lookout for this book. Pick it up right now when it's cheap, and it's only going to go up. We're going to hop on over to this next one there. Pun intended. This is ASM number 81. This is the first appearance of the Kangaroo. 1969 it came out. Also a Romita Stan Lee book. Raw copies of this, very fine near mint, selling between $70 and $80. CGC 9.6 is the highest I could find, $580 sold, and a 9.4 at $242. Overstreet has this listed at a very fine at $58 and near mint at $170. Kind of a cool character, nice villain. You never know what they're going to do with villains. I love just buying first appearance of villains. They're undervalued until they get recognition in the movie cinemas or the TV. So if you can get them before they get named as a character on one of those things, you're making the right decision. Okay, this next one surprised the heck out of me. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 113. Came out in 1972. This is the first Hammerhead cameo. Raw copies, and I was surprised by this. Raw copies, $30 to $45. No big deal. A CGC 9.8 sold for $1,437. Just crazy. A 9.4 $265, very much more reasonable. And then a 7.5, $33, less than the price to get a copy graded. Overstreet has this listed as a very fine at $41 and a near mint at $110. It's the first cameo in Hammerhead. Apparently that character is picking up some steam right now. There is talk about seeing Hammerhead down the road in a movie or a TV show. So if that's the case, there you go. Pick this one up. And speaking of Hammerhead, he's on the cover of this one, but that's not why this book is special. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 130. Came out in 1974, and this is the first appearance of a car. This is the first Spider-Mobile. It's kind of funny. Raw copies, $15-20. CGC 9.4 is the highest one I could find, and that one's selling for about $120. Overstreet price on this about $34 to $85. $85 near mint. So the CGC is very high on this. Do not go by CGC prices. The raw copies on eBay, you know, $15 to $20, even less sometimes. We're not going to spend too much time on a Spider-Mobile, so let's just go ahead and move on to the next book. This one right here is Amazing Spider-Man, number 144. This is the first full Gwen Stacy clone appearance. This one came out in 1975. 9.6 CGC of this book is $255. Raw copies are selling for about $30. Nothing too spectacular. The thing with this book is it does have that black cover, and it's going to be hard to get a high grade in this book. So you know, kind of set your standards a little lower, and you might just get lucky. Very fine. It's listed at $25. And near mint is listed at $55 in Overstreet. Okay, now we're going to switch over to this one right here. And this one is Amazing Spider-Man number 156. Came out in 1976. This is the first Mirage? Yeah. And there's a variant for this one as well. There is a 30-cent variant out there. And usually the 30-cent variant copies sell for about 25% more. Raw copies of this, 9.2, $40. That's what they're selling for. CGC, I couldn't find anything higher than a CGC 8.5, and that one was only selling for $35. Overstreet has it listed very fine at $19, and then a near mint at $40. This is a cheap book to get. You should be able to find this pretty much everywhere that sells Amazing Spider-Man back issues. So if you get it cheap, pick it up. It's got a first appearance of a villain. You never know. We're going to move on to Amazing Spider-Man number 167. And this came out in 1977. And this is the first Will-O-Wisp. I think I got that right. Will-O-Wisp. Raw near mint copy selling for $20. CGC, there is a 9.8 listed and sold for $260. Overstreet has very fine at $16. And near mint's at $30. I'm not familiar with the Will-O-Wisp character. That's kind of a funny name, really. But you know, this book is actually pretty cheap. You can find it kind of similar to the other one I just showed. So it's kind of a neat book. If you can pick it up on the cheap, I would definitely do it. And the last book we're going to show you today is a CGC, and it's restored. Which is fine, right? This is Amazing Spider-Man number 93. It came out in 1971. This is the first Arthur Stacy appearance. This is also Stan Lee Romita book. Raw copies of this near mint, about $75. CGC, all I could find is an 8.5, and that was listed at $110. Overstreet has it quite a bit higher, very fine at $59, and then a near mint at $175. So if there's a copy of this out there graded at 9.2 or higher, this is going to be a very spendy book. But I thought I'd show it. And unfortunately, like I said, it is restored. But it is the first appearance of Arthur Stacy. Okay, I'm going to set this one down so you guys can actually see my face a little bit. So anyway, we showed you 10 key Spider-Man books. Like I said, there's many, many more key Spider-Man books in the run. We'll have some more for you at another date. Hopefully you guys like this. Subscribe if you're not already. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Alright guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.